Hello students, welcome to the SS class. Students, we are here to learn about your chapter climate. So what is climate first of all? Is the sunshine a part of climate? Or there is excessive rainfall and we call it climate? Well, we need to understand the difference between weather and climate first. That will help us to justify the word climate. So, whether it is sunshine, that is degree Celsius, if the sunshine is high, we also call it insolation. The rain, whether it is 100 centimeter or 1000 centimeter, air pressure, high pressure or low pressure, fog, the presence of wind and climatic condition where the visibility gets lesser, wind, the flow, the velocity could be higher or lower, humidity, the presence of moisture, vapor and clouds. When they are all for short term, say for example 3 months or 4 months, we call it a specific weather condition. And all these are same when they are measured for a longer period, that is 35 years, say for instance, we call it as climate. So when our grandparents say that it was never so hot earlier and these days the climatic condition is gone high, we tend to understand that way back in past there was a different set of climatic conditions to what it is right now. So I hope that you get clear difference between weather and climate. Climate is a long-term process. The analysis of weather conditions of long term, we call it as climate. Now what all could be a part of climate? What are the factors that affects climate is the agenda we want to learn today. India has monsoon type climate. How can we say that? And where has this word monsoon come from? So, monsoon is an Arabic word mausim. The derivation of this word is from Arabic origin. And not only India, in Asia, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, all these nations experience monsoon climate. So now you know what the word climate is, what is monsoon type, which all countries they experience monsoon type climate, but how is this climate formed? What are the factors that affects climate? So there are 4 factors: latitude, distance from sea, altitude and atmospheric pressure and winds. What is latitude? As you all know that for human convenience, we have set imaginary belts. That the one that is right in front of sun we call is equator. 23.5 north, we call it as Tropic of Cancer. 23.5 in southern hemisphere, we call it Tropic of Capricorn. So this entire zone between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, we call it as torrid zone. Be it any season, be it any area of tilt, be it any phase of Earth around the sun, this torrid zone always remains hotter relatively when compared to other zones. Coincidentally, for India, so India belongs in this northern hemisphere, but this Tropic of Cancer passes through the center of our country. So that's our South India, and this happens to be rest of the country. So the entire southern part of India experiences more heat when compared to rest of the nation. So those latitudes that are closer to equator will have more temperature, will have more sunshine, more insolation. Here I have written that there is a gap of 1 kilometer between two latitudes. And Tropic of Cancer is what you have to remember to understand that how can there be difference in climate at different region on globe. Then comes distance from sea. Now you see students, here we have a water body called Arabian Sea, and here there is water body called Bay of Bengal, and bottom we do have Indian Ocean. Half of the Gujarat state also has water boundary. So now when these areas that are closer to water will have temperate environment, they will have lesser difference between the temperature at daytime and night time, while those areas that are distant from sea, that are away from sea, will always experience continental climate. Continental climate would be dry, very dry when it is dry time. It would be very hot when it is hot time. So basically, this Indian boundary that is surrounded by water will have temperate climate, and the rest might have continental climate. The third is altitude. Wherever there is mountain, the relief feature, when this humidity travels higher, it cools down and the formation of clouds take place. So at higher levels, there will always be lesser temperature. There is a fact given here, you have to remember that every 165 meter height, there is a tendency to drop around 1 degree Celsius of temperature. So if any area, any person is located at an area that is on height, they will tend to have cooler regions, and therefore Himalayas are always cold. First thing, they are located above Tropic of Cancer, and second thing, they are at a very, very high altitude. So with altitude change also, there is change in climatic conditions. The last one is atmospheric pressure and wind. I will definitely explain in detail about how the pressure system works, because the upcoming video regarding the monsoon season, advancing monsoon and retreating monsoon, is all about pressure and winds. For here what we will learn is when the temperature degrees Celsius goes high, the pressure becomes low. When there is cold, that is degrees Celsius is low, the pressure is high. And wind will tend to go along with clouds or without clouds at place where there is hot region, at place where the pressure is low. There are multiple factors contributing to wind and its system, but the primary thing responsible for nature, for the climate, is the wind due to pressure and the wind due to Coriolis force. Now what is Coriolis force? So example, wind is traveling this way and the earth is rotating. Now when this wind will come in the contact of surface of earth, due to the movement, it will bang and move the other side. You can do this experiment at your home. Turn on the fan, and the fan is in motion now, and just drop any light substance in a way that that substance hits the flow of fan. You will see that from the direction you threw the object, it is deflected to some other direction. That exact thing is known as Coriolis force. So here the agenda was to learn all about climate, the weather and climate difference, what type of climate does India experience, why, and what are the factors responsible for climate. In the next class, you will learn cold weather season, hot weather season and monsoon season. See you then. Bye bye.